Apple has announced that AR is going to be a core, key part of their company, which is kind of crazy to think about because they've done absolutely nothing with it so far. So this came from Tim Cook. I think I have his exact quote as to what he said. I think AR is extremely interesting and sort of a core technology. That is exactly what I just said. So yes, it's something we're doing a lot of things on behind the curtain that we talked about. That's a weird sentence, Tim Cook. But it's interesting that they've said that because while Microsoft has done work with the HoloLens that we see demonstrated, and we know that there are people working on this team, we know nothing about what Apple is doing because they have released no technology with this as any part of it key or superfluous.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting to see what they're going to do because it sounds like something imminent is going to happen.
Right. It seems like I could read that, what he said, as generally he thinks of it as a core technology. Like, this is where things are going, so we need to do something with it, and we've been tinkering with it. We just don't have anything to put forward for you yet. But rest assured, in classic Apple fashion, and pretty much tech company fashion, it will release something after other people have released it, but the ad will make it look like it's the first time anyone's ever done anything like this.
I don't believe that, but maybe a significant portion of people do, where I think what they do is they take things that have already existed, but they make them more popularized and make them easier to use, which makes them accessible and therefore...
Did you see that most recent iPad ad where it's like, imagine what a computer can do. Imagine if it had a keyboard that just disappears and you could write on the screen and touch it. It's like, so a Surface.
It's a Microsoft Surface.
Which has been, I could show you ads from 5 years ago for Surfaces that did that.
Well, I think what they're doing is that's not original. It's not their idea, but they're making it so that anyone can easily grasp what's going on and not have a significant amount of problems doing it. It's making it accessible, basically.
That's true.
And that's the same with even the idea of using a mouse back in the day, decades ago. Or also we're looking at NFC and using your thumb to unlock. That had existed on Android for a while. That's completely fair. So it's hard to say. I mean, there's also the idea of them doing some kind of auto component with in the past that they had discussed. So perhaps that. It's not clear if it would be part of iPhones and iPads or part of a regular computer, a laptop. I'm not sure.
And that is a skill. Like, they had the Apple Television that they were trying to do and announced a build, but now they finally have one. But it seems like it's still like they settled on, the thing about television we will do is apps and the Apple TV, which I have, Like, that is a skill to say, not just that we're going to get into a certain kind of technology, but determine in which way you're going to do it and at what time. And they've been good at that kind of stuff in the past. And it seems like, I think watching the demonstrations of the Apple TV, the new Apple TV that they have, just like that pan app search function is like, that's great. That's really smart. And that's a great place to position Apple in relation to all the other kinds of smart TV functions you can do. So they're the ones being like, here's where you can watch it. The first one's iTunes. Like, that's smart.
I mean, it's interesting and the sure fact that they are the ones who popularize things and kind of make them more of a standard, I would say, than something that's just cool and useful.
Yeah.
Which tends to be where the Microsoft Android side of things go.
Yeah.
I mean, they could integrate it. I mean, right now we have the biggest example of AR, and the most easy example, and probably not the most useful, is Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And it's easy to use now on current smartphones, and but it has problems. It's a battery killer.
Yeah.
And maybe that would be the time for Apple to work on the peripheral around it. Like, let's work on making it less of a drain. Let's find a way to integrate it into the software that we already have without it being completely clunky and terrible. AR software is not easy to integrate, so it's something perhaps they could refine.
Right, because augmented reality, we have it on it. We have things that have cameras that can project. And I loved, Yelp had a monocle like a decade ago. The Yelp monocle where you stand there and like, can't read a map.
I don't know where to go.
I'll just go like this, and it says, a quarter of a mile that direction is like a pub. I can go there. I thought that blew my mind in like 2010.
I love there's an app where you can look at the sky and it will tell you where different constellations are and planets and satellites.
We use that, my girlfriend and I, when the planets were lined up. We're like, which planet's which? Let's go find it. And it worked like a charm. The challenge is you have sci-fi books that have existed for a long time where it says, we're going to just paint over. I want the contact lens where I go medieval, and it just makes everywhere I am a castle, and will turn you into a knight, a fierce knight of the Vale or whatever.
I have seen a few AR games. I don't know if they were in a contact or a phone or whatever. I think it was headset at this point.
Yeah, I get it.
Like the potential is there, and it's cool. I think it's more useful than VR, to be quite frank. But we'll see a lot to come with HoloLens and with Apple saying that they're doing something, I guess, in the background. But since they make things more the rule or the standard, I think this is only good, even if you hate Apple, which a significant portion of the audience, as I've seen anecdotally, does.
Yeah, and I get why. I totally get why. And it's the reason, But I think Apple is good at making things stylish and sleek, and so whereas things like the Google Glass and the
that was kind of a botch.
Right, a botch, exactly, in very googly fashion. It was like just like a great idea. Oh, you guys didn't just. I wish it was slightly cooler.
Yeah.
And so that kind of thing where it's augmented, a good way to do it is to put it in a lens. I think if anyone's going to solve the problem of making it a pair of glasses you want to leave the house in, it would be Apple.
Will it be a pair of glasses, though, audience? Maybe. I don't know if we have passed the era for Apple or Google Glass or not, or if there's something that we haven't even thought about yet, or maybe it's much, much simpler. Where do you think this will go? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.